Hi, my name is Robert Sweet. I am an ISA certified arborist. I'm also a Pierce County Master Gardener with Washington State University. That's a volunteer program. And I have a bachelor's degree in plant science from the University of California at Davis. Today, I'm helping the Tahoma chapter of Western Cascade Fruit Society, a group of amateur fruit growers, with a series we call Revitalizing Old Fruit Trees. Our subject tree today is a medium to old apple tree. In my quick survey of this tree, I did notice some disease issues. However, they are not severe enough, in my estimation, to disqualify it from pruning and managing for fruit. It's best to take a quick look at the base of the tree. So at the base of this tree, we see a thick, long shoot from the base. That is what a sucker technically is. We do not want suckers at the base of an apple tree. And since I have my tools here, we might as well cut it off. On the bark at the base of the tree are these holes here. These are formed by the feeding of a small woodpecker relative called a sapsucker. It is seldom a problem with the trees. They seem to tolerate this damage fairly well. Another thing that people might be concerned at is seeing bark tags peeling up here. This is a normal response of the tree as it grows new bark and new girth, wood underneath. The old bark is chipped away, in effect. Perfectly normal, not to be concerned. There's two kinds of shoots above the level of these major branches. One's like this one, and one's like this one. The one in my right hand is about 1 foot long. The one in my left, 5 feet long. They both grew last year over about a 3-month period. Obviously, the one in my left hand grew more vigorously. My simple rule here for pruning is to take out, not so much shorten, but remove entirely the water sprouts that are thick. These are the true water sprouts. The thinner ones, like this guy, which are 45-degree angle, and thinner, more flexible, perfectly healthy, but less vigorous, are precisely the shoots that we want to keep. On a tree like this, simply removing the water sprouts and leaving the remaining one-year sprouts would be sufficient because there are not that many of these shoots. They can be longer than 1 foot, maybe even 2 feet. Here's another one here. This one's fine. They are thinner than a pencil, whereas the water sprouts are thicker than a pencil. My point, though, is that we want to leave a well-distributed landscape of thin, angled sprouts in preference to the true water sprouts that are too vigorous. We'll now demonstrate the removal of the proper branches, the overgrown water sprouts, and leaving the others. So I'll be pruning out the vigorous ones, leaving the non-vigorous but healthy ones. Taking this, leaving this. leaving these. Taking this one, this one, this one, and we're done with this part of the tree. With this apple tree, all of the fruit potential is on the outsides, an outside ring, kind of like a donut. Behind me to my right and to my left, all the way back to the cedar tree, has fruit. It's in full bloom right now. However, as I step back here, to here, above me are only these shoots and no flowers whatsoever. What this means is that over half the tree's surface, as viewed from a bird's eye, is a desert with respect to producing apples. This is due to past pruning of the wrong kind. Now, from a ladder position, I am going to set up some work and show how we fix this problem. From this position, I'm actually in the donut hole of this tree. To my right, beyond where I can reach, about 9 feet, there is not a single blossom. There are blossoms down there in the foreground, but not in this center. To my left, there's a few right here, but beyond that, they are beyond my reach. They're beyond my reach in front of me. In other words, we have a huge, somewhat irregular, large donut hole with nothing but 1-year shoots. From this position, with my feet 4 feet off the ground, this main branch, called a scaffold, is about 10 feet off the ground. That's where all of the sprouts, all of these, which are 1-year sprouts that grew last year, are formed from. We have very strong sprouts and ones that are not angled straight up, like this, I will be removing all of the strong sprouts and leaving all of the thinner, more angled sprouts, so that the overall effect, which is above my hand here, right here, is going to be down to here. We will still have shoots above the level of the scaffold, but only about 1 foot or 1.5 feet, as opposed to 5 to 6 feet above the scaffold branch. I'm going to prune out all of the tall, thick at the base, straight up and down sprouts off of this branch from here to here, leaving unpruned, unshortened even, the thinner, shorter, low-angled shoots. This operation will allow the tree to restore its fruitfulness in this large central part of the canopy. Because during the summer, this upcoming summer, flower buds are likely to form on the remaining shoots, the shoots that were not as vigorous. These are the desirable ones. For these cuts, I will use my hand pruners. Of course, with ladder work, one shouldn't reach too far. It is obviously a falling hazard. You'll note that from where I can reach with my hand pruners to my left, I have lowered this several feet. The remaining branches are not shortened in any way. They are naturally shorter than what you see over there, or what you see to my right. I just happen to have taken about half of the shoots in this case. It's not a hard and fast rule. I've taken the ones that were stronger, straighter, taller, which just happens to frequently be about half. Now I'm going to move the ladder so we can finish off the vigorous shoots on this large branch. Okay. I've removed, as you can see, most or all of the strong sprouts. However, I've noticed that in this particular area right here, we have a thicket of good quality sprouts, more than we need. I'm going to thin out, not for height, but for reduce the density of the useful sprouts here. Let's take that one. Okay. The branches I left unpruned on this side of the tree will produce flowers and fruit next year. If we were to do the same operation on the other side, we could easily double the fruitfulness of this tree. About 90% of my pruning cuts are made with one of these three groups of tools: hand pruner, loppers, and handsaw. Starting with the smallest diameter cuts, of course, hand pruner. Maybe up to 1/2 inch diameter. Loppers, 3/4 up to 1 inch on many woods. Above 1 inch, we're dealing with handsaws. Professional model, curved pruning saw, excellent, pretty expensive, but quite good, not equal, but quite good, and inexpensive, short folding saws like this. Regardless, having something, I prefer on-belt tools, that can handle the smaller cuts, the biggest cuts, up to say 4 inches, and the in-between cuts on your belt or within easy reach around the tree is helpful.